know it's No Ideas Original.
Welcome to the No Ideas Original podcast featuring Shannon, Mr. Rob, and Ken. I think Ken may be pulling up later, waiting to hit back from him. Yeah. Man, what you been up to, Mr. Green, Dr. Green Thumb?
Dr. Green Thumb, bro. I'm learning about plants. I'm really learning about them. A gentleman that I befriended or got to know through my mother's husband. He's really putting a lot of responsibility on my hands with learning the plants and kind of taking his daily responsibility, putting it on me, which is cool because I'm learning. And in that process, it's giving me some comfort and some, just like what I'm doing, man. So that's working. And what I'm getting from that, I'm meeting a lot of people. I met a lot of dignitaries yesterday. I met the general manager of the World Congress building.
Oh, wow.
I met the lawyer for, there's a campus that the World Congress building, State Farm Arena, the Signia Hotel, and a Mercedes-Benz Stadium all sits on. They have one lawyer, bro.
Wow.
All that. So I was able to meet them. I met some accountants. What's up, Nev? Never on the tap in, son. You must have your joint on a ringer, son. We go off.
You got the notifications on.
Yeah, you got the notification on. So work, bro. And what else has been going on? I'm about to move. I need a new car. There's some things moving. It's moving and shaking, man. I'm in Atlanta, so I'm moving like a New Yorker in Atlanta right now.
Okay, so are you looking to move like closer to the city?
Yeah,
or
closer to work, really. Because where I'm at now, traffic wise, it's crazy, bro. Like traffic, you got to find a way to beat the traffic around here. So,
man, I feel like everywhere out there, traffic is crazy though.
Son, but you gotta have it. It's timing. And even in the middle of the week, you can get caught up. But in the morning, if you ain't out the house before 7, you're slammed. After 3, if you hit 4 o'clock going into 4, between 4 and 6, you're slammed. And that's the street. Now, the highway, you're really slammed. You might as well just cook out, bring out your grill, and hang out by the exit because you ain't going nowhere. That's how sick it is out there, bro.
I hope I don't go down there and see you on like you the franchise boys with a lean with it, rock with it, the snap joint. I'll be like, yo, Rob, you listen to Mobb Deep? You be like, nah, I ain't listen to that.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it
franchise boys.
I'm gonna keep it stacked with you though. I became a big Glorilla fan out here, son. You might not believe it. Glorilla is my little Kim in the South now, bro.
I mean, she got a couple of songs aside. She got a couple of songs aside. I can't. I don't like the joint with the Keisha Cole sample though.
Yeah.
Like you like Rob, like nah, that joint go hard.
She come on, son. I'm on my Memphis time when she come on, son. Like I'm in the car, I'm like, come on, kid. But
it says no sound on IG.
Oh yeah. I don't know. That's on a StreamYard.
Yeah, I don't know what that's. What's
you said StreamYard switched up the game on you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if it's no sound on IG. Wow, that's crazy. Knowledge, you see, I responded to you too, about being in town. So we could see if we could make something happen. Yeah, nah,
bro. What's going on with you, man?
She definitely talented. Yeah, I was telling you off camera. My grandmom passed away. Today. She made it to the big 94 though. Like that's major numbers to put up on the board. In this day and age.
You do the math and
just
imagine how far back that is and what she's going through, and even to, like you said, to reach 94, you know what I mean, with her wits, because I hear y'all talk about it. She was a character, bro. She was a character, man. God bless her. So was my grandmother, and that's coming up on a year too. October 13th will make a year since my grandmother, Maddie Frank, that's going back to the essence, man. And I think about her a lot, but I think about her in a way where I hear her saying, You know, son, understanding is the greatest. Find understanding, and you got the world. Like that's like
Yeah.
keeps me calm, and I'm like, you know what? Everything's gonna work out. Let me just take my time. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, my grandma lived a long life. She could say that she saw her grandkids. She probably saw her great grands have kids.
how
Like
about
that's how many generations, that she lived. So, I'm
shout out to
sad to see her pass, but glad to have an opportunity these last few years to spend a lot of time with her and how you call it, be privy to like all her jokes and her personality. So I definitely miss her. Um but like other than that, just the regular work related stuff, going work back and forth.
LT is good. How's LT?
She's all right.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
yeah, she's good. Yeah, just the regular stuff. So, but
Everybody.
yo, we got an interesting show um today. I actually titled it "What's Beef," and the reason why I titled it "What's Beef" is because like all the
Good
topics
title.
is beef related. So we're gonna talk about the government shutdown, which is the beef between the Republicans and Democrats. We'll talk about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj beefing. Mayor Adams ends his reelection bid. I think Mayor Adams has got a beef overall with New York City voters. And Diddy's sentence, was it too light or was it just right? I feel like Diddy got a beef with the judge, or the judge got a beef with him because he gets no wins.
Diddy. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to Diddy.
That's a fact,
I
knowledge.
think Diddy is in his Diddy mind. He ain't in his Sean Combs mind. But
Man.
this is who he's created himself to be. So
Yeah. So today marks day 8 of the government shutdown.
uh-huh.
Um the longest government shutdown to date was, I think, in 2018, which was Donald Trump's first term, and I think that was for 35 days. So currently, to the general public, was being presented the reason or rationale for the shutdown is that there's an impasse as it relates to healthcare. Democrats are saying that that they want the Affordable Care Act, which came into play when Obama was in office. They want those extended, the Affordable Care Act extended without provisions, indefinitely. And Donald Trump is offering, and the Republicans are offering, I think, a 1-year extension on it.
Yeah.
With the fact that also, I guess they believe Donald Trump has intentions of cutting Medicaid and other programs. What are your thoughts on this, Rob? Like, even beyond, I guess, like just them beefing, like just the impact of the government shutdown.
He's affecting a lot of lives, man. Air travel disruption. You got major flight delays. You got TSA and these guys working for free. You know what I mean? Air traffic control is working for free. Like, you don't want to piss these people off when you got almost 6,200 flights being delayed daily. Like, how is that happening, bro?
Yeah.
And airplane like a cab, like a bus is still a means of doing business and transportation. So I think for whatever it's worth, he wants to send a message, but this is Donald Trump. He's always sending the wrong message. Even with, public services like CDC and the FDA, why are you shutting them down? You know what I mean? I mean, CDC, we were already proven to them. You probably shut them down, to be honest with you, because they don't fuck since 2020. But this guy, he's being a bully, and he's using his power in a means of how an egotistical kid has, I got the freshest sneakers type of thing. He's just being a derelict, man. I don't think it's faring well with the American people right now. I think a lot of people are on edge.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't change, it could get worse, man. Going into 2026, which the midterms will be around that time. So I think this is going to probably affect the midterms as well. But here it is, America, where, Puff can ask him for a pardon while he's still a felon for all sorts of heinous crimes. You know what I mean? This is the world we live in, man. So
Yeah.
shout out to all the TSA workers, all traffic control, anyone working in the government, anyone working in social services. If it has affected you, keep your head up. If you got a furlough, do your best to, make ends meet. and do the best that you can. But this is where we are, man, unfortunately. And then he got ICE running around like Gestapo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's right now, he's like a coach sitting up in the box just calling plays.
Yeah.
Calling audibles, and it's messing with the American public, man.
Yeah.
You can't even get your passport right now.
Yeah, my thing with it is that it's so politicized. You know, I think both parties have lost sight of the actual American people. You know, like not only the people who work for the government, but people who receive like government services and things like that. It's been very, very difficult. I yeah, I believe though. I think that what's crazy is that if you look on websites, government websites, Trump has had them actually. There's a narrative that both sides are running with. If you talk to somebody who's a liberal, they like, this is the Republican government shutdown. If you talk to somebody who's a Republican, they like, this is a Democratic government shutdown. But Donald Trump went to actually like use federal government websites. And if you look at the language on it, it'll say the federal government is closed due to, liberal or Democrat policies or whatever. Like that's how messy he is. But the thing is, Donald Trump is in a position right now as a lame duck president, but all these other people in his party that they're come midterms, they could be susceptible to taking a loss as a result of this, because I believe the American public, like a large portion of the American public, would probably say that conservatives shut the government down.
But this is the thing, Shaw. How is it not affecting conservatives too? Don't they fly?
No, I definitely think it does, but I think that Donald Trump's voice just resonates so loud amongst like a certain core group or core demographic of people that he has some really, really strong supporters that it's almost like he could do no wrong. Like there's a spin for everything.
We've used this term, and you heard me use this term, man. Democrats and Republicans are two wings of the same bird. Mm-hmm. Birds usually need both wings to fly. So why would you cripple a country that you're working in, have to work in, and you got to work or bipartisan work with your peers to make things happen? I think there's a bigger agenda behind it, and what he's trying to pull is this majestic presidency that no one's ever had. He wants to go off with his cape on his back and sparks flying. I'm Trump and I did this. See that just goes into his ego, man, and it never fares well for him. So as my mom's husband would say, somebody might take a pop out of that because the way the world is, it's crazy right now.
Kareem said, "Do we think it's Donald Trump or someone else calling the shots?" I definitely think it's
Reams. See, Reams is on right where I'm going with it.
Yeah, I just what I think it is. I think the only thing that Donald Trump is actually invested in is just getting revenge for what he believes Democrats or his opposition put him through. But all this other stuff, I think, is definitely somebody else's agenda. I think the dude Stephen Miller, I think, is his agenda. I think that's the dude who's like the architect of that Project 2025. The irony of all of this is too, like when people sat back, like I remember he was like during the elections, he didn't know anything about it. And I think Kamala kept talking about it. And, people like was quick to discredit her. But a lot of the stuff that she said is actually the stuff that they're doing now.
Yo, listen, man, she even brought some interesting stuff up on the assassinated dude that hasn't come to light. I'm like, damn, she got a point about that. So Condoleezza, she's another one that likes to shake the table too, and have.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens.
Yeah, she's been talking about him now for probably like since he passed. Like every day she's online talking about him.
It's like, what's up with that? But Trump, here we are, bro. We just gotta ride it out, if anything. Like you said, the last time we had a government shutdown was maybe a month or so before things got back into action, because we need all hands on deck. There's no way in the world this is not affecting conservatives as much as you want to throw darts at liberals and those who support liberal politicians or whatever, liberal policies. You're still affecting the entirety of the nation. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know what his end goal is, other than I punch you in your face now what? Like,
you know, the end goal is that as long as it doesn't impact, you know, wealthy people's money, then you know that is something you could live with, because the people who are impoverished don't have the voice, you know, and sadly a lot of people that are impoverished are blinded and don't realize that, you know, they may have voted against their own interests.
I think a lot of people who have voted for him are kind of like, I didn't think this was gonna happen.
Voters, yeah, they probably have like voters remorse, you know. At that time maybe they believed it was in their best interest. Like even, you know, the people that I heard that was like super supportive of him, it was rooted in the economy. Like, yeah, you know, he's gonna get the economy going. I don't know if I would say that the economy is currently going, but that's, you know, that's my opinion. I'm not an economist.
Right. Well, you know that old saying, the lesser of two evils. You know, Sleepy Joe was on his narcotics. He was sleeping. He was dozing off. He was tripping upstairs. It wasn't looking real strong as a nation with Sleepy Joe in there. So who else do we have?
Yeah.
You know, he was kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place. But still, you know, it doesn't affect the 1%. It affects the 99%. You know, and not all of them are rich, and that's what I mean by that. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's voters remorse. There has to be, because there's no way in the world with TSA and how many different things are shutting down. Let me see this. I got all this on here. Air travel disruption, economic and financial fallout. The Bureau of Labor Statistics has halted publications of key reports like the job report and the consumer price index. Like, you're messing.
But I'm sure those are things that he could live with not getting out when you start talking about the jobs report, because the jobs report tells a story of what's going on with the economy also.
Right. You know what I mean? Social Security, you know what I mean? Those SSI who may not receive checks, or it slows up money and that type of thing. Federal loan programs. Of course, if you're looking to get your passport, you might not travel this year because that's going to slow up. So, you know, he's just being an asshole. He's being that dean that, you know, when you walk down the hallways, you don't want him calling your name. That type of guy, yo.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though, like all of this also in the name of trying to probably protect against having those files released as well. But I wonder how long it's going to be before those same conservatives that's like super supportive of him, that's actually in office, before they break rank and be like, I can't do this anymore.
It's gonna happen, Sean, because this guy don't have a halt. He don't have a pause. Let me see. He has a drill and drive. That's how he works. That's how he operates. He has to make a notation of who he is. He has to put his stamp on.
Yeah. Well, you know, it'd be real weird. Like if they did go and, you know, they released the files, and I mean, we could all speculate that his name must be in those files because they're so apprehensive about putting them out. But it'd be interesting to see who would stand next to him after that stuff came out and still would co-sign it or co-sign him.
I think those files are floating around. They're just not in the public hands. But whatever's in them is hurting a lot of people. So whoever's out there doing their Diddy, whoever's out there, whoever's taking them planes out to
the island.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's coming back to bite them. But this is indicative of the country we live in. These people do these things, and, you know, the American people end up paying for it, bro. It's like a story we've heard already. Like the Clintons have probably done this crazy.
Yeah, allegedly. I heard that name might be in there.
We gotta say allegedly, right?
Might be in there also. Was not alleged though. Is that, have you been watching like the last couple of weeks Nicki Minaj's epic rant and how she's been going off? Like low key, like right now it's about Cardi B, but I don't know if you realize it. I feel like a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, she was on SZA too. It's like she's just going from person to person, going nuclear on them, and she got a lot of heat for Jay-Z and Rock Nation. You know, what do you think?
What's that about? What's the heat that she has? Did they turn her down on a deal? Or I really never got the story of that, but she's been giving Jay the middle finger.
Yeah. Did you see the like the picture she made of Jay, like she with the bald and the dreads, talking about he got on a lace front?
No. See that.
Let me see if I can show you.
Yo, please pull that up.
Yo, look. Hold up, look.
Oh shit. Why she do that? Who that? That look like Coolio, son. They got Jay looking like Coolio.
Yeah. She going like super hard on him. Pause. Yo, with this stuff. I don't know. You know, it's as much as people like that as a form of entertainment, I'm not a fan of it because I feel like everything in entertainment somehow always gets back to like black women tearing each other down and condemning each other, or women of color. You know, so to see them, like, to me, it'd be one thing if they were having a disagreement over who was a better artist, you know, whose album was better. But then when you start inserting people's kids and stuff like that, and I'm just like, nah, this is going too far. This is not cool. And it's become like, you know, like we're talking about it now as content, but this has become amusement for the internet. Sitting back watching these two women insult each other and insult each other's family.
Yeah, and it's a lot of that now. Like you said, if it were a lyrical battle, you know, we game for that. And the way it's looking like, it's like Cardi B is winning that because people are repeating her lines. They recite her lines or her diss lines every day. I just think, unfortunately for music in its entirety, like having these women going back and forth with one another, it's not classy, man. It's not ladylike. These ladies are great artists. They're both too. You know, Nicki has had her run. She could probably still continue a run if she left the shenanigans alone and just let Cardi B be Cardi B. But you know, someone has to be on top for whatever reason. No people can share the same table, or eat at the same table and just kind of enjoy the meal. People gotta, you know, they gotta be at each other's necks. In my opinion, I like Cardi. Not that the fact that she's from the Bronx, but she's real. And she's not pretense, and she's not gonna give you no cookie cutter shit. She puts her shit out there, even with the stuff with her ex-husband. Like, yo, he's a sucker. Like, she says it straight out. Like, nigga's a cornball. But he has everything she says, she can back it up with truth. You know what I mean? And she'll say, I was wrong, or you know, whatever the case may be. So she has a little bit more how can I say it? There's more of a dignified attitude with her than it is with Nicki. Nicki is just grabbing for straws because her barbs ain't out there as they used to be. And she had a nice little run. When her Safari run was her best run.
Yeah.
You know, when she got with Wayne and Drake, it sustained it. Then all of a sudden, her little dirt started to come out about her family, and then she met this dude that came home. And then all of a sudden, she's Annika back on the block. I think that's her name, right?
Anika.
Yeah. She's Anika back on the block, who used to, you know what I'm saying, stand at bus stop, sucker on a lollipop type shit. So it's not a good look. In all trueness, it's not a good look.
You want to know how important popularity is to people? When it's all said and done in the history of hip hop, or let's not even say when it's all said and done, if we were to look today, do you think it's reasonable to say, do you think that Nicki Minaj is a top 5 female hip hop artist all time?
All time?
Yeah.
No.
I do. I definitely would. I would say that.
Please tell me why, so we can have this debate.
I would say that. I would say the only people that I think that probably, in terms of like whatever everything that she brought to the culture and everything, I would say Lauryn Hill is, I always tell people, the number 1 female rap artist of all time. Lauryn Hill probably could be in the top 10 hip hop artists of all time. Right. So I would say Lauryn Hill. Then after Lauryn Hill, I think you would kind of fall into like the Little Kims and the, you know, I feel like after Lauryn Hill, everything else is debatable. Like it could be a Little Kim, it could be a her, it could be a Foxy, it could be, or whatever it is. In terms of
Queen Latifah, bro.
Queen Latifah, but if you think about like the contribution, you could make an argument Queen Latifah, because Queen Latifah extended beyond
right,
extended beyond just rap, like her contribution overall of hip hop. But some of these other people, like, you know, Foxy was a blip on the radar. Like Foxy's legacy didn't last as long.
Short run. She had a
When
short run.
when it's all said and done, though, Cardi B will not be viewed as anywhere near close to the artist that Nicki Minaj is, I think. And the crazy thing about it is Cardi B has, in terms of accolades, like Cardi B has a Grammy. I don't think Nicki Minaj has ever won a Grammy. But I think that Nicki Minaj kind of falls in that debatable area of like, yo, you potentially could be a top 5 female artist. I don't think anybody will ever mention Cardi B. Maybe it's because she does write her, maybe it's lyrics, but that's what I mean about popularity, Rob, because her popularity is what I think upsets Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj is probably like, well, she doesn't have the talent that I have, or whatever it is.
Why is everybody liking this chick here? Who is
exactly, you know? And I think that the other thing is that I don't, you know, as a person, I'm not a fan of Nicki Minaj and Nicki Minaj's antics, but I am able to separate like her antics and who she is as a person, and acknowledge, like, you know, like the run that Nicki Minaj had, you know, is undeniable. Like if you even think about like the followers that she has, and she to a degree, she's got like a touch of like the Donald Trump and Dame Dash thing going. She's like a such polarizing figure that either you love her or you dead despise and hate her. But I can't front on her talent. And like I said, like as far as like even like her lyrical ability and stuff like that, her talent, I would probably put her in the top 5 in it. Not on lyricism, because I believe that they're better
total package. The total package,
I would say.
I might slightly agree with that, because we watched Nicki's meteoric rise.
Exactly.
From what she did with Safari and then catapulted into Young Money. There was a minute where Nicki couldn't do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you have to give her credit for the work she's done. And I think she's leaning a lot on that as her backdrop, as to say, look what I did and look at what she's doing. Like, you know what I mean? She's, you know, you could talk about her lifestyle, you could talk about her marriage, you could talk about what she's doing right now. You can have a lot to say that, but Cardi B doesn't hide any of that. She's not ashamed of it. You know,
because she's far more personable.
She's more personable, and letting you know, look, take it or leave it. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? And I love what I do. I love my family. I love my kids, and this is just how I do things. I mean, in life, you're gonna have someone who looks across the room and don't like your sneakers. I don't know. They don't like your haircut. They don't like how you smile.
Or just jealous of your success. Just jealous.
You know, so but you don't have to, if you've already gained your amount of success, you don't have to say anything about that person. You can silently hate. Fuck that. You're going off. You're going off of, you got this animosity built up for her. For what reason? Nicki's era is not Cardi's era. Cardi's era is Ice Spice and Megan Thee Stallion. Nicki's era, who was in Nicki's era? Her friend Rihanna was there. Who else?
Well, you know something? That's the reason why she has trouble with other people having so much success, because what other female rapper really was super competitive in her era? You can't, and it's not like you can say Remy Ma, because Remy Ma has much talent and lyricist and everything, but Remy Ma and her are not kind of
falling off the wagon too,
comparable as artists.
Is not doing Remy Ma well right now?
This is so let's think about like their male counterparts, like who this could be similar to, right? Think about a person who has a body of work that people really appreciate and like, and it's just like they may not ever be mentioned as the best, but they've just consistently been around. You're like, yo, they've had a run quietly, been consistent. They stuck around. Like let's say if we looked at a person like a Jadakiss, right? Okay. Right. So let's say, and I'm not comparing Jadakiss and Nicki Minaj lyrical ability, but let's say you had a Jadakiss, right? And then Bobby Shmurda came out, and Bobby Shmurda came out and captivated the audience, with his song and everything or whatever. And it just was so upsetting to Jada, what I'm trying to get at is that when it's all said and done, you know, people will be like, Jadakiss could be arguably a top 10 rapper of all time or whatever. Bobby Shmurda is just Bobby Shmurda. And
Right.
I think that upsets though Nicki Minaj, that she's losing sight. Like Nicki Minaj, from a female artist standpoint, you could arguably be top 5, top 10 female rapper or whatever based on your contribution to hip hop culture.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, Cardi B won't be there, but you're upset because of the notoriety that she's getting. Mind you, this is notoriety in an age where stuff comes and goes and swaps out so fast. Like, I mean, you mind you, City Girls had their moment.
Yeah.
You know, Gorilla's hot now. Lotto had hers. Ice Spice. Yeah. These people are in and out, but Nicki Minaj has been constant. Like, she's just kind of, you know, the numbers
ain't household name.
But that she's been around. So why is she so upset?
Because Cardi is taking that role. Cardi's in commercials. Cardi's probably reading a script for a movie. Trust me, we're gonna see this young lady on the silver screen. Mm-hmm. But these are the same avenues Nicki has or had.
Yeah, it's hard to keep those.
Her popularity kept her in the living room. Her popularity kept her in the living room, and it wasn't just music. You know, she was in a myriad. I remember.
She's in barbershop.
Yo, she was a sponsor for MAC Cosmetics right at the same time Rihanna was. Mm-hmm. Before Rihanna soaked up the knowledge and became Fenty all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. After her campaign with MAC Cosmetics, her Fenty thing popped off. After Nicki's lipstick line, the pink lipstick line, we didn't hear nothing. Nothing happened after that. There's no capitalization. So whoever Nicki's manager is or whoever's campaigning for Nicki, whether she's rubbed people the wrong way, she don't have a camp that's promoting and branding her the way she did when she was the Barb and doing her thing. She had a campaign behind her. Cardi is dead, pregnant and all. She got a machine behind her that's still pushing, bro. And I think from relationship wise, Cardi got the right people around her. Nicki don't.
Well, Nicki Minaj probably got people around her, but when you're the breadwinner and people can't tell you anything or you're not willing to hear anything. But I think the difference is like, so you talk about like the Mac and all those other opportunities and things that she had, right? She had those opportunities because she was scorching hot. When you were scorching hot, people will tolerate and go along with it. But once you cool off, then people ain't gonna hear you showing up late, you cussing them out, and you know you losing your mind and you having meltdowns. I tell you, the moment that
happened a little bit without the queen we just talked about, Lauryn Hill. She ain't showing up for, you know what I mean? Like,
but you know what I think will always keep Lauryn Hill in that position? The talent is just so undeniable that people are willing to be. And then Lauryn Hill's on the strength of one solo album.
Yeah, we hold on to the nostalgia. Lauryn Hill way too long. We're still singing "Killing Me Softly" like it's new, bro.
Yeah, but she catapulted her life is set off of that one album. But back to the Nicki Minaj stuff, like I just think the moment that I realized, I was like, yeah, that's something definitely different or something off with her. That I begin to be like, yeah, you know, the music, you know, she every now and then she'll get a good song or a song. I'll be like, that's a good music. But as the personable stuff, and I'm sure she doesn't make music for me, but I remember like she put out an album, and I know Peter Rosenberg and Charlemagne had like real criticism around it. They just didn't think it was a good album. And rather than her,
Nicki's album,
yeah, and rather than her being able to just be like, well, you know, they didn't like it or this, that, or whatever, she started accusing them of being sexist and all this other stuff or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know if their sex got anything to do with the quality of music that, you know, you put out. But I see her do that a lot. Like she weaponizes things that don't have anything to do with anything. And it's just like, you have Cardi B over here that will be quote unquote fall under the umbrella of ratchet hood or whatever it is, but people soak it up because it's just more relatable. There are more people close to her ratchetness and everything and feel like I can relate more to this than Nicki Minaj right now spiraling. You know, like somebody probably really need to take Nicki Minaj's phone away from her Now, whether she on drugs allegedly, I don't know, because that's the word going around that everybody keeps saying. But somebody probably need to take her phone away and just tell her like, yo, just do your music and focus on your music. Don't worry about the other people. For the reason that I said when we start this conversation, when it's all said and done, her name will be mentioned in top 5 female rapper of all time for quite some time. And Cardi B's at this point in her career won't. People will like her and they appreciate the popularity of her right now. But when it's all said and done, I don't know if how you call it.
Cardi
5 years from now,
ring is long.
Yeah. But what also could be scary though, for probably maybe if you're sitting in Nicki Minaj seat, 6-7 years went by before Cardi B dropped another album and she came back. And even though they're saying that the sales are inflated or the sales are unreal or whatever, like clearly she still has the general public's ear.
And that's what I mean. That's what being personable means. When you got a booger in your nose and you always spatting, who wants to deal with that? It's like you always got an attitude, or you just rubbing people the wrong way. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. And I think that's Nicki. Nicki, she's overindulging herself with herself and her accomplishments to say, ain't nobody better than me. Look at what I did. All right, to your point, what she did is phenomenal. But what have you done lately is the question.
Yeah.
You haven't done anything lately. You're just beefing like some old chick on the porch looking at the young girls wear pencil skirts now and they double dutching now, and you're just mad because they look better than you now.
Yeah, hating. You want to talk about being personable? Let's talk about New York City Mayor Adams. He ended his re-election bid. He said, "I'm no longer seeking re-election in New York City." He was so personable that he put out a quote, or he was in an interview saying that you could catch him in the back of the barbershops drinking Hennessy.
Yeah, I remember that. All of a sudden, now he gonna pull up.
How's that? How does that make him electable? What does that have to do with politics? What is your thought on Mayor Adams ending his re-election bid?
Well, he ended his bid late September, something like that. Man, he has a decorated jacket, like he got legal issues, scandal issues, corruption.
Not decorated in a good way.
Nah, he does. The color paisley don't go with stripes, bro. Like, it may be necessary for him to step down. Just get out of sight, out of mind is what Mayor Adams needs, and maybe he needs to be in the back of the barbershop sipping some Henny. Stay on the low, get out of people's way, bro, and get out of that. Adams withdrew from the Democratic earlier this year. He tried to run as an independent. Now that part was like, well, you thought you was gonna fool somebody because you're gonna run independent. Like, you're trying to circumvent and blindside shit. Another person who was in their camp. Who are these people's advisors? Because these people are public. They're public people. And taken out of Cardi's book, she's personable. She's real, and that's what draws to any societal crowd. People want to see how real you are and how texturized you are. Can what he's doing make sense to me? Nothing Mayor Adams has done or is doing makes sense to New York City at all, outside of probably drinking Hennessy in the back. That's the only thing that makes sense. But
it's funny you said that, Rob, because I feel like his strong point is probably being personable. Like, he's too mixy that people are looking and they're like, yo, all right, it's cool that you're saying this stuff, but I don't need to know that you be in the club, you hanging out at the Met Gala, you chilling at the Knicks game, you went to the Rucker game, you down at West Falls shooting hoop. Like, it was more like the stardom, I think, that kind of that kind of like got to his head. But what I look back at and I was like, damn, it made me think. I was like, who's the last one-term New York City mayor? because I feel like a lot of people when they get into the mayor seat in New York City, they're usually there for 2 terms. Like low key, I think Bill de Blasio was there for like 11 years or something crazy like that. He was there for a minute. It was David Dinkins. Yeah, it was David Dinkins. And I try to make a correlation between. I'm like, all right, they both are black or whatever. But David Dinkins was so much more well-rounded. And I don't remember David Dinkins.
Yeah, public eye. He wasn't at Yankee games. He wasn't at, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't, if he did make an appearance, it was a very breezed by appearance. But now public officials, as we can see, they want to be in your living room. They want to be where everyone else is at, like Cheers. So Mayor Adams, he's at Dykeman.
Wow. Was Mayor Adams on the I may be making this up, but I feel like I saw him on a podcast. Was he on Drink Champs or was he on Math Hoffa, My Expert Opinion? I feel like he was on one of them joints. You know,
wow, like that's something to look up.
Yeah. But that should tell you who his audience is. Like, yo, you want to be down? Like, do you want to be the mayor of New York City or you want to be Amigos?
Right. You putting out an album? Like, you doing book sales? Like, what are you doing?
Actually, I think his son is an artist, and I think his son may have put out an album or something like that. If I'm Mayor Adams, I would be happy with just what you said, like kind of getting off the radar, because to me it was a blessing in disguise that Donald Trump pardoned him. So that kind of got him out of the situation that he was in. Once Donald Trump it was almost you go and fight it and try to keep your political career, or Donald Trump pardons you and you lose your political career. But now that if he was to stay around, or if he would have actually stayed in power, well, he didn't have an opportunity to stay in power because people were like, you're aligned with Donald Trump. Yeah, and New York City is predominantly liberals. So
you're out of here, brother. It's done.
Yeah.
Who's clearly his replacements?
What's the dude that everybody keeps saying he's a socialist? Is it Mamdi or something like that?
Oh, Zoran Mamdani.
And it's Cuomo battling it out. But it looks like Mamdani is going to get it, and a lot of people are not a fan of him.
Mamdani, that sounds very Eastern.
Yeah, he has a lot of different ideas that just don't sit well with a lot of conservative people. I don't know what Mayor Adams does after this. Like, I see there's a woman that he used to be involved with that's writing a book.
That's what I mean. That's gonna be his claim to fame. You're gonna see him in Barnes and Nobles on the bestsellers list for my first and only term, or something's gonna be, predicated around his first term and his words. Now you have my words. I think that's where he is. He's gonna go down as wasn't he a former police chief turned mayor? Now he's writing books.
Yeah, he was on Drink Champs.
He's on Drink Champs.
Yeah, Mayor Adams.
He's going to pander to that demographic, which is us. Yeah. So that's what, 60 to 35? Because here we are. I'm 50. You're creeping 50. So, our demographic is up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, how you call it? Like he could try to pander to it. Don't seem like anybody interested.
Ain't nobody dealing with that. You fucking with Trump. The Trump party. Get out of here.
I wonder if
as they say, go get some cups so we can drink this Henny.
I wonder if Trump was able to pardon him for the Me Too joint. Ain't he caught up in like a Me Too case also?
I think so.
Yeah, he is. He said some woman was like they was on a stakeout together and he forced her to perform oral sex on him or something crazy like that.
He says legal shutdowns and scandals. Adams' administration was plagued by corruption allegations, including a now dismissed federal bribery case involving alleged gifts from foreign entities. Even though the charges were dropped, President Trump's Justice Department, the lingering media scrutiny and public doubt damaged his credibility.
Yeah.
So that's it, bro. And you're in the biggest city of the world. You fail here, you fail everywhere. You can make it here. You can make it anywhere. So.
I bet you he probably happy that he could probably shoot dice in peace now. He probably like I can play CeeLo in peace.
Be on the lookout for Mayor Adams doing spotty cameos in movies. He's gonna have a book. He's gonna end up on Martha Stewart cooking channel. Trust me, he's not going nowhere. He's gonna be around for a little while.
Yeah, you better make sure he show up in court for that meeting.
Right, you know, and don't be late, nigga, because they have a bench warrant. Because that's gonna be on TMZ. Mayor Adams has a bench warrant. He didn't appear in court.
You know what? I think that kind of had me done with Mayor Adams too. I think it was something like people were complaining about like some McDonald's or something, saying that people was hanging out in front of the McDonald's getting high. It was like some huge big story around it or whatever. And they asked him like, how are you planning on dealing with it? And I think he said he went down there and went and sat at McDonald's and had a conversation with them and kicked it with them or whatever. So I think that he was almost a victim of trying to be too down to earth.
He want to be the homie.
Yeah.
He wants to be the homie. You can't be the homie and be an authoritative, not authoritative, but being a structured individual. I mean, you're running a city. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can't pander to everybody. You're going to step on somebody's toes in a city like New York.
Well, he said that he left the city in better condition than when he got it.
That's a lie. You left the city in better condition. You was robbing people with the toll shit down 59th Street. Stop it, bro. See,
yo, you know what's bug? I'm not even a New York City resident, but people hate it. I don't know if you know how much people hated Mayor de Blasio. Remember him?
Yeah, because the fact, you know what really kicked him out of there? When he was telling people to get the vaccine shot and say, look, these fries are good. Why don't you come get a burger, and get some fries, and get the jab? Case closed. I'm doing it. See? Fucked up right there. But you know the thing too, when Mayor Adams was in there.
Yo, he said, come get these fries.
The immigrants was getting a check, bro.
With Adams?
When Adams came in and they was finding they was putting on them immigrants in hotels.
Yeah, the migrants
that they were getting. Jesus Christ, bro. They were living. But his credibility shot. Like I said, you may see him on a couple of cameos. He might be on what's the daytime joint with the ladies, The View. He might be there. He's gonna try to keep his face alive for a little bit, but not for political reasons. He's gonna try his hand at something else. Trust me.
I mean, so you think his political career is over?
Where's he gonna run at? He gonna go to Chicago? What he gonna do?
I don't think nobody want that job.
Yeah, son. Where he gonna go? I think it's
DC. How about Washington DC? A job with Trump.
It might be on the table.
Yeah.
Might be on the table, but he'll be a pawn for Trump. He won't go down there to make a difference. He'll just be a pawn.
Ain't that how he got the pardon?
He'll be a pawn. That's it. I don't know, man. DC ain't probably where he want to be.
Oh man, that's how he got the pardon. So he could, like I said, he could shoot dice and drink Hennessy in the back of the barbershop in peace now.
Yeah, you pull up the dome groomers, Mayor. Brothers in there like you, man. Shout out to Dome Groomers.
Oh man. So lastly, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was probably last week or maybe the week before. Diddy's sentence comes down. He's given 50 months. Do you think that sentence was too light or just right? What do you think?
I knew he was gonna do some sort of time.
Mm-hmm.
Even after the 13 months of the time served. Puff feels privileged in a lot of ways. He's gained the privileged mindset of, and there's nothing wrong with being opposite. Everything's going to work in my favor, or I can do anything, and that type of mentality. But here it's going to be a lesson learned. I think the judge is purposely pulling out the belt to whip Puff's ass, or just to say, you're not going to get everything your way, sir. You know what I mean? You've been running a heinous game your entire life. And for me personally, I don't hate Puff. I don't hate anybody. But bro, you've been scaving and skipping so many scandals and situations your entire career, bro. I think there's a little karmic energy with Puff happening now. There's so many things that have happened under his watch. And I say this going all the way back to City College up until this day.
I remember that.
We know about the Shine situation. Anytime his name comes up in a situation like that, he seems to be like, remember when he gave Cassie the 30? He was dancing. Told you. He was doing the Mace dance. Like, bro, you think it's an easy street. And I think his time has run out. So them giving him the time, he could be doing 20 years. Before, I think it's justified.
Yeah. I actually think that you know,
that's light work. And he might not even do 4. It might be more or less like 3.
Yeah, he'll be out. He'll definitely be out in this time.
But now he's requesting what jail he wants to go to. Where you do that at?
Well, they asked for the judge did ask for recommendations. So this is what I was about to say. I feel like the judge is not a fan of him at all. The judge asked him for a recommendation, asked his attorneys a recommendation. They gave the recommendation, and then now I just saw the other day that the judge said that we got the recommendation, but we can't guarantee ultimately the Department of Corrections, it's up to them or whatever it is. I think that Diddy, I think his sentence is probably light, considering if this was somebody else who didn't have the notoriety and resources that he has, and I'm sure if I was sitting in his seat, I would feel that it was it was heavy-handed. But from the outside looking at it, like I fully expected, I was like, I think they're gonna hit him with far more than that,
But prosecutors wanted just over 11 years.
Yeah.
They wanted him to do at least 10. Like you're gonna sit down, bro.
Yeah.
That 4 years, that 3 years. We're gonna watch 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls gonna go by, and then newsflash, Puff is getting released from jail. Trust me.
But you know something though, 2 or 4 years in federal prison for a person that's wealthy has to feel like an eternity. I'm sure a day in jail feel like a long time. So imagine if you have the money and the admiration and everything that he got going on. I'm sure that this got to be like extremely difficult for him. The judge kept saying, like, you hear a lot of people saying that he didn't seem like he was taking accountability, but I don't know what people were looking at in terms of accountability. What did they want to see from him?
I guess they wanted to see, people always want to see remorse, that he's sorry. I think they don't think he's sorry and that he's just going to get away with something because he's Puff. But that's been his attitude, his career. I can get away with the shit that I'm doing.
Yeah, Beth is on IG. She said as a woman, she believes it's light. Yeah, I think it was a light sentence too. And but again, if I was sitting in his seat, I definitely wouldn't think it's a light sentence. But I think he kind of, I'm sure his legal.
I know he wasn't gonna go home. I know he wasn't gonna get time served.
Yeah,
he was gonna do some time. Whether it's gonna be 20, 11, or whatever the judge decided. I said Puff is gonna sit down.
Now, this is where it becomes challenging, though. This is where it becomes difficult because, we seen the video, we heard the stories, we heard all the stuff, but some of the heinous stories that we heard wasn't the actual thing that he was convicted on. But even though that being the case, hearing those stories, I think definitely helped in terms of influencing what the sentence would be. And I would imagine, like, from a judge's perspective, it takes a ton of discernment to be able to sit and be like, all right, you know, the man was convicted on this, but we heard all these horrible things that he did,
Right.
you know, and there's no denying that he did these things.
Right.
I don't know. I'm sure Puff's team will probably file some sort of appeal to try to get a sentence reduction. You know, like I thought even before they got to a sentencing hearing thing that there would already be like an appeal in the works based on like different things that came up. But in a scheme of things, this sentence is probably, you know, extremely lenient, you know, because this is Sean Combs. If this was Sean Jones from the Bronx, it wouldn't be no
20
years.
You're right about that, bro. You're absolutely right about that, man. But you know, the judge is considering the victims, and which judges do. You know, they look at the totality of a case. They look like all parties involved, and these stories of him orchestrating what he orchestrated is the reason why he's in this RICO situation, because it just seemed like a enterprisery type of deal. You flying all these people in to have these these smut parties, you know, and you knew what you were doing. So I think, you know, based on that, the judge is like, you know, I don't see you need to do 20 years, but you want to do some time. And no one died. You know, people's, you know, all parties involved was with some of it. Had to agree to some of the shit. Like no one was strangled and strapped and pulled into these parties and doing all of these heinous things. No one. No one went against their will. Even though we know about the baby oil and all that. Baby oil had horse drugs in it, and people were getting paralyzed, and the weird shit is coming out. But from the male strippers to everyone they've interviewed, you know, Cassie was just as involved as Puffy. But you know, I think that video slammed them because we actually seen how volatile he is and how heinous he can be. But then, you know, he get on the screen and he's brother love. Like the two don't match, bro. So now that we know this about you, and judges, not that I know this, but I feel like a judge, even though they're dealing with a case in front of you, they're gonna deal with some of the stuff in your past. What leads a person up to thinking they can get away with doing this? What have you been doing prior? So 4.5 years or 50 months, it could be a smack in the hand. But like you said, one day in that motherfucker gonna feel like 10. Because he ain't gonna have the amenities. And I think by him wanting to be closer, he'll be closer to his family. He'll get to see them more often instead of being somewhere in Arizona. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think his family is in Florida, and he requested New Jersey. He was trying to, you know, he wanted to go to minimum security federal prison in Jersey, but they said they don't know if they'll allow it. Bev said it'd be cool to see some of these old white guys get even that much time. I don't know if we there yet.
We need to be there.
Yeah, I don't know if we there yet.
We need to catch everybody that was on that plane list.
Yeah.
Whoever took that 747 to the island.
You trying to empty out all of Congress.
Listen, baby.
You trying to empty
Congress in there, son. Put us in there. I'll be a part of Congress. Put me in there.
All kind of CEOs and everything. Everybody, before you know it, it'd be like, man, we only got 4 people in.
Do you remember
4 independents in Congress?
Whatever happened to the Abercrombie and Fitch owners?
Oh yeah, I remember that dude. But you know what I remember most
about? Are they doing time?
He got bail. That dude got bail.
Say word.
Yeah, that dude got bail. You know, guess I said, like, I think wasn't Puffy trying to put up like 50 million for bail or something like that? He was trying to give everything to get out of there.
Like, I don't want to be in here, bro. But he's got a taste of it. He's been in Brooklyn House, Manhattan House for 13 months. Yeah, you know what it is, bro. You're there.
Do you think so? So I feel like that that Diddy fits like the textbook for being a narcissist. But do you think that he would come home and actually he'll be rehabilitated?
I think he'll give it some thought.
Well, you know what's
what I mean by that is that he'll think about what has taken place in his life. Now, if he wants to jump off the boat and start some shit again, motherfucker, then you ain't learned shit, bro. You on your own.
Did you hear that supposedly he had like some sort of speaking engagements booked for the next week after his sentence hearing?
Nah, I heard he's a mentor in jail. He's doing.
Nah, they said that the attorney generals brought up that he had speaking engagements booked for the week after his sentence hearing. So I'm sure the judge heard that and was like, "Word, that's what you."
Speaking engagements. Who you got? Mayor Adams? What you seen? People want the spotlight, bro. People are going. I bet you Puffy have a book.
he probably should, honestly.
I bet you Puffy will have a book. 50 Cent is already working on the Puffy story. Trust me, they're gonna monetize the situation. Ain't that the American way? You monetize disaster, bro.
Yeah, I just like I said, like I feel like that. In his circumstance, in his case, I know it's hard for him to look at it that way, but he got a really, really good, a really light sentence in comparison what they probably could have hit him with.
Yeah, they could have hit him with more, and his defense team wanted a lot less too.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted like 14 months. They actually wanted time
served. Yeah, want him to go home.
Let him go home. So, but I don't think the judge is like, nah, we ain't just letting you out like that, man. You sat in jail while you was going to court and all that. Nah, we want you to sit down and think about this.
Before we get
out and does something crazy again.
Look, so before we get out of here, which streaming platform do you think will be? Who do you think will land the first Diddy interview, whether it's by phone or video conference or whatever, with him in jail?
Oh man, Revolt. Who's on Revolt?
He don't own Revolt no more, but Charlemagne, I think who's on Breakfast Club, I think is on Revolt.
Revolt. They on iHeart.
Yeah. Okay. Drink Champs. Isn't Drink Champs a Revolt?
Drink Champs is on Revolt.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, any there's gonna be a lot of takers, and I wouldn't be surprised if Drink Champs is one of them. I would not be surprised.
Drink Champs on Revolt. I think I could see him going
TMZ.
Nah, but it's similar to that. I could see him going like a dude like Kai Cenat.
Oh,
Kai Cenat, like somebody, because I think
I don't know if Kai want to jeopardize his.
Well, you know why I say that? Like, I think Diddy would. I think the audience, like Diddy, would be attracted. The generations are so far apart, but Kai Cenat got so many viewers that I think that would be something that would be super attractive to Diddy.
Kevin Hart jumped on the Kai Cenat wagon real quick, and he's staying.
All of them people
he got everybody pulling up.
Kai, I'm thinking like the Kai Cenats, Joe Rogan's, Aiden Ross, like those are kind
of. I'm glad you said that, because that's what I'm saying. He's better off going to Joe Rogan, because Rogan's gonna ask the questions that either the public wants to hear Puffy say, or he's gonna ask like, what really happened?
Well,
really smacking Cassie up. What really, like Rogan is gonna ask those questions that are uncomfortable.
If he asks Puffy that, like, did you really smack her up? Whatever, then he mustn't see the video.
Right. I'm just saying. I'm saying that to say Rogan's gonna ask the questions that are probably most uncomfortable.
I don't know if Puffy wants that.
Drink Champs is gonna sensationalize it a little bit.
Drink Champs would be like when your man called you from jail. That's what Drink Champs would be.
And when he walked through that door, you know what I mean? If he walks through that door to do a face-to-face, I don't know, bro. He's just in a bad situation right now.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you.
Do his time. He ain't got no chance. He ain't got no choice. He's gonna do his time.
Watch, I bet you, Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, Joe Rogan, TMZ. Like, I think those are the platforms, I think.
And the last but not least, I don't know if he's going to Drink Champs. I mean, Breakfast Club. I think they was throwing shots at Puff.
Yeah, they've been really critical of him, like but yeah, I think if
Charlamagne, he don't hold his tongue, bro. So
yeah, but if I think it be in his best interest, like you got to find the right person, you got to find the right interviewer that's going to paint you in the light of you being compassionate, and then you got to find somebody who has a large enough audience, also.
Right. So so I see what you're saying with Kai Cenat. But Kai Cenat's audience, though, they're not
too young to really understand
the demographic. Even though Kevin Hart is there, but see, these are household names Kai Cenat is bringing to his platform. People you hear and see every day, because Kai Cenat you can see and hear every day. So he's pandering to the crowd, where he's pandering to a place he wants to be. Mm-hmm. But for Puff, it would probably be TMZ, Joe Rogan, or fuck around, he might get a 60 minutes.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
60 minutes. He'll get a Dateline joint.
Or a Gail King, right?
There you go. I was just going to you took the word right out of my mouth.
But you know what? If you was
she scold R. Kelly.
That what I was gonna say. If you was an attorney, and if I was his attorney, how I seen R. Kelly rolling around crying and all that, I'd probably be like, nah, I don't know if I want you going to Gail King.
Yeah, Puff might curse her out.
He better not. Believe me.
Might flip on him like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, he better not.
Real quick.
Shoot. But all right, thank you everybody for tuning in. Closing words, Rob?
Check on Yada, man. Yada, wherever you at, bro. Hope you're all right. Everything is good. Closing words. I don't know. What you got, bro?
My Yankees are eliminated. So
hopefully you watching the Giants. The Giants at least score.
I mean, the Giants at least y'all got one win. The Jets, we don't have one win yet. The Knicks will be
playing. They're not looking good, bro.
So yeah, right now for New York sports, things aren't necessarily
the Knicks is looking a little promising.
I mean, how you call it? Everybody's a world beater in the preseason. So
hopefully my Knicks fans are watching.
people light everything up in the preseason, but I actually think that the Knicks will have a formidable season.
I like some of the acquisitions of some of the players they picked up.
Yeah,
I do like that. New York sports is in the dumps right now. Everything New York is shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it smells like fucking train station the way New York sports is right now.
Oh yeah, I rode the train a few weeks ago. I got on the train for the first time in years. I got on the 6 train.
What made you do that?
I had to put my car in the shop. He said, "What made you do that?" I put my car in the shop by a dealership by Zariga Avenue.
Did you know? How was it? Did you got to get a Metro card? What do they do now?
Yo, they don't have a Metro card. It's called the OMBY something, on MBY card or something. And you could pay with your tap your card thing or whatever, or your phone. You know how
everything is tapped. So today, right? I'll tell you a quick story. There's a young lady that I'm working with that works with us. And I pay her cash. I'm able to give her cash for what she does for the day. So I'm walking around looking for a change of a 10. All I want is 2 5s. There's not one register that has cash. Everything is cashless.
Yeah.
Everything, bro. Until I ran into a couple of dudes, right? And just happened to act like, you just like, yo, what's up? It's crazy. The world is crazy. There's no cash nowhere. And I'm looking at them. I said, does anybody have change for a 10? These niggas is like, oh shit. Nah, I got nothing. So one dude said, you're lucky because I was doing a garage sale and I got 2 5s for you. The world is crazy, man. No one carries cash. And even me, I don't even carry cash. I had the cash on me to pay the young lady and I needed a change of a 10. But here we are, bro. It's a whole different world we living in, man. So
yeah,
I can imagine what it is of getting on the train.
Yeah, it was different. I only had to go for a couple of stops.
Trains the same? Then they changed the trains too?
Nah, it felt
like one long train.
Nah,
it's still broken up into 10 trains.
Yeah,
10 cars.
Yeah, nah, it's still kind of the same. And it was like early during the day too, so a lot of the crazies weren't out.
Oh yeah, you scared. You scared.
Yeah. But it's a good experience. You know, it'd be like, oh, okay, they're back on the train or whatever. You know,
don't be down there when it rain now. Shit, when it rain in New York,
I'm not. I don't have
flooded, bro.
It was just an opportunity for me to ride the train for the first time in a long time. But that hopefully that's not a regular occurrence.
Yes, I'm praying for you, bro. Stay out of there. Stay out of there.
Oh man, yo, we want to thank everybody for pulling up and joining the conversation tonight. We'll catch you on the next one.
Man.
Peace out. Salute. The train.